Hello, I'm Tim Harris. This is Julie Harris, and this is Real Estate Coaching Radio.
That's right. So make sure that you hit the subscribe button so you won't miss any future episodes. Thanks again for popping by. Hit that like button, and don't forget to leave your comments and questions so we can get right back with you.
We will. Thank you for continuing to make our podcast, Real Estate Coaching Radio, the #1 listened to podcast for real estate professionals in at least the United States. And let us know what you think about this video. Leave your comments below. Thank you.
3, 2, 1, and Julie Harris, we are back. I love this topic. I have a feeling every single agent listening worldwide is going to love it too, because it's how to make $1 million a year in real estate.
That's exactly right, Tim. And of course, we can't show you how to do that in one podcast. This is an overview. This is not coaching, it's training. But our job is to educate you, motivate you, and get you into action. So we're going to give you the outline.
Well, in essence, what we're showing them is that it's realistic, and it all comes down to relatively simple math that will work in every market, and they can do it. And so that's what we're going to start out with. So Julie, let's hit them over the head with a math bat.
Exactly. There you go. That's a good way to look at it. So my note takers, get ready. We're going to do a little bit of math here. $1 million gross commission income equals 100 transactions at a $10,000 average commission based on the national average of about a $400,000 sale price. So that is our starting math, right?
So whatever, if your sale price is, some of you are blessed with having sale prices that are double that, obviously divide by 2.
That's right. So if your average sale price is, for example, $750,000, you'll only need 55 transactions. Some of you are blessed to have a $1 million average sale price. I've got some coaching clients like that. You'll need about 40 transactions. So adjust your math accordingly, but you can already see that this is doable. Point number 1, decide and accept the fact that your success is up to you and only you. Your saying is, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. It is not up to your broker, your market, the interest rates, or who's president. It is up to you. So be responsible for your own success. Own it all. There's going to be at least 4 million sales this year, which means 8 million sides. How many do you need to be involved in? Well, we just told you, if your average sale price is $1 million, you only need 40 out of 4 million.
It's important to remember that even if your goal isn't to make $1 million, maybe in your market, you don't have to have $1 million. You can have an incredible lifestyle, take care of all your friends and family, and just, live the life of Riley. And that's fine. Adjust accordingly. Adjust to, like, maybe in your market, it's $500,000 to have that incredible lifestyle, or $300,000. The point is, start thinking bigger and realize that you can accomplish whatever you set your mind to. Julie and I are not into woo-woo mindset stuff. That's the reason we always break this down, everything we say, with facts and numbers. So hopefully you're appreciating this. Point number 2.
Point number 2, invest your time before you invest your money. People invest 4 years or more in a college education only to graduate, only sometimes, with student loan debt and a job that they could hate for the next decade or more. You can't skip learning and be earning at the level that you desire. So work sporadically and you get sporadic income. Work consistently and you'll achieve momentum faster.
This is a good place for us to plug in. When you join our coaching program, Premier Coaching, and by the way, the link is in the show description below. Just scroll down. If you're on iTunes, Spotify, we're everywhere on 30 different podcasting platforms, of course, over on YouTube. Just scroll down. The link to join Premier Coaching is free. But one of the link is free, but also joining Premier Coaching is free. And you do receive, when you join, we get people asking us this all the time. Yes, of course, you are entitled to a daily semi-private coaching call with one of our Harris certified coaches. You can join Premier Coaching right now for free. But here's what I want you to think about. When you join the coaching program, which all of you are doing if you've not done so already, you have got to earn while you learn. Don't wait to earn after you've learned. That's a key point in what Julie and I want all of you to really drill down on. The best way for you to learn is actually for you to learn while you're actually earning. So for example, if you want to learn how to swim, there's only so much blackboard time the swim coach is going to give you before he throws you in the water, because you're going to learn faster and pay attention more when you are in the water, actually treading water, and now the water's getting deeper, and now you're actually miraculously learning how to do all the things that he was trying to teach you before. You guys get it? The pressure, the fear, the actual, excitement of being in action is going to cause your brain to absorb information quicker and actually going to allow you to apply it faster.
That's right. So part of investing your time before your money is to recognize that there are some specific stages of learning, and you can't really skip any of these. I'm going to do these relatively quickly because you can get the notes from scanning below and, of course, in Premier Coaching. So stages of learning, the first one is called formulation. That is literally getting ready to get started and creating your plan. That's why the first level in Premier Coaching includes your business plans. getting ready to get started. Now, some agents never leave that stage of learning, but when you do, and you're not just having a plan but working it, you go to concentration. Many of our Premier Coaching clients are in this level. That's doing the actual work, just as you said, Tim, getting in the pool and treading water and then learning how to kick and swim properly. Doing the actual work, learning and using your skill. You don't have to be perfect in real estate to start being profitable. So concentration can last for quite some time. And then once your skill is increasing, you get into the exciting part that's called momentum. That is repetitious and predictable success. And then on the other side of that, you can get to breakthrough. That's high-level implementation without getting bored and falling back to the first stage. A lot of our teams and our brokers are in that level.
And a lot of you will recognize that this is similar, because it is similar by design, to the stages of mastery as often referred to.
Yes, that's right.
And
it's just less tongue-tying.
Exactly. I mean, let me see if I can get it right. I'm going to give myself a quiz, right?
Okay.
So it's unconscious incompetence.
Yep.
Conscious incompetence. Conscious incompetence.
Conscious competence.
Conscious competence, and then unconscious competence.
Yes, which all kind of sounds like the same phrase, so I did this version of it instead. But yes, you're right. It is the stages of mastery.
And we've done a lot of podcasts on that topic. It's in a big, I forget who created that originally. It was, I don't know, Dr. Marston or whoever. But the moral of the story is this is very fascinating for you to study all of that and then determine where you are in the learning cycle of the four stages. Because what you'll then realize is once you open your mind, most of you, and the reason you listen to this podcast every day, there's tens of thousands of you that are listening right now, is because most of you are in that conscious incompetence phase. In other words, you're in the second phase. You're realizing what you don't know. And unfortunately, a lot of the times you're learning what you don't know because the market's sort of handed you your butt. And you're saying, well, I guess what worked in the previous market isn't working now. Maybe I don't know as much as I actually thought I did. That is really a powerful place to be, because then your mind is going to be opened up to learning more information and really adapting. Some of you, and unfortunately this is true, will refuse ever to allow yourself to have that level of really insecurity and vulnerability. And so you're going to force yourself to stay in that state forever. And those are the people that chase shiny objects their entire lives. They go from, I'm going to be a YouTube influencer, to I'm going to do, postcards, to this, that, the other. And then they always end up buying leads, and then they get out of the business. So the moral of the story is that when you're in that stage, you have to realize, first of all those things that I just rattled off, obviously starting with proactive lead generation, they have a place. They're all important in the creation of a scaled up real estate practice, but you've got to do them in the right order, and you've got to do them, frankly, it's not just the right order, but you have to do them so that they actually work. Otherwise, you're not going to have any work, and you're going to go out of business, basically. And unfortunately, that is what's happening to a lot of you. So pay attention. You're listening to this podcast because you're wanting to learn, because you're wanting to go to the next level. Allow yourself to have that tinge of insecurity. Within that, as long as you don't run from it, you're going to find your next level.
Which brings us to point number 3. You must have the following immediately. Failure to be great at these specific 4 things will handicap your success. So make sure you're writing these down and ask yourself, where are you with this list? Point A is scripts, proactive lead generation scripts, open house scripts, lead follow-up scripts, basic conversations with your sphere of influence, pre-qualifying buyer and seller scripts, and closing scripts. All scripts are questions that lead to a close, or sometimes lead to you not wanting to close, depending on what you find out. But you must be using scripts.
If you are at the stage where you're still telling yourself you don't need a script because you're natural, everything that comes out of your mouth is perfect, it's because you have not lost enough. When you lose enough, then you're going to be in that second phase of conscious incompetence. That's when you're going to be receptive to actually learning to be a true professional, the best version of yourself as a real estate practitioner. I will give you a suggestion. Why not skip the pain of losing and skip the pain of losing transactions and not making the money you otherwise would have, and go right to the place where you're going to, be eventually anyway, assuming, you actually get there. Not everybody does. And decide that you're going to be the best version of yourself as a real estate practitioner. Scripts are, we have to sometimes walk away from the word scripts and call them conversation outlines, because so many agents will hear scripts and they'll go, I'm not going to use scripts. Okay, fine. Don't use scripts. Every professional on planet Earth that's successful uses a script. There are no exceptions to that. And I'm not just talking about actors and whatnot. Every single professional, everybody is using a script. And, the phases of learning scripts is we want you to memorize the script first. We want you to internalize the script. Then we want you to personalize it. And what a lot of you have done, and our scripts aren't online. They're all copywritten. You only get them when you join Premier Coaching. So you can stop searching Google because you're not going to find them. So what you're going to then, what agents do, again, the ones that are hackish, to be honest with you, is they'll take scripts and then they'll try to create their own. So I want you to think about the absurdity of that. So someone who's probably never sold anything before, who just got a real estate license, thinks that they can go online and they can hash together enough, scripts that they can somehow make a script that's going to work. Why would you bother with that? See, that's the phases of learning aspect, creeping back in. You're going to have to accept the fact that if you want to scale this mountain as fast as you possibly can, just follow in the footsteps of others. Follow up the path that other people have already proven works and stop wasting time. Guys, listen, the fact is this is the best time to be in the real estate business in at least the past 15 years, provided you don't just, stay at the starting gates and, ignore the fact that this market demands a whole new skill set versus the old one.
That's right. So point number B, related to this, you have to have the following. You talked about scripts. B is your pre-listing package. Not your brokers, not something you found for free online, but a proven, powerful, and personalized pre-listing package. Now, we've done entire podcasts about why that's important. So I'm going to move on to the next thing.
Let's just tell them what it is, because
Sure.
we always got to remember we do have a lot of new agents.
You got it.
Pre-listing package is basically something you send to a listing appointment seller prior to going on the appointment that's designed to, in essence, be your silent salesman and win the listing for you. There it is. That's it. That's what a pre-listing package does. That's what ours does. It's included with Premier Coaching. Make sure you click the link below. All right, Julie, letter C.
Letter C is your actual, more formal listing presentation. And D is your buyer presentation. A lot of you guys have never even heard that phrase, buyer presentation. Well, that's going to save you from a whole lot of buyer woes. And I think we've done podcasts on that as well. So that way you end up with a signed buyer agency agreement, ideally. And you have a commitment from them, they have a commitment from you. These are 4 things that are really critical to getting you into that momentum stage so you can lather, rinse, repeat. Again, that's scripts, pre-listing package, listing presentation, and buyer presentation. And I have to stress, these should not be just your boilerplate stuff that your broker hands to you. Because what if you're competing against the same, an agent from your brokerage that says exactly the same thing?
Well, the other thing is when you have our pre-listing pack and you do personalize it, and we help you do that, right? You're going to, like some of you are wondering what makes it so that I'm different in the marketplace. Why would someone choose me over somebody else, especially if you don't have a big sales background? Well, guess what? That's what the pre-listing pack is supposed to do. You want to feel prideful almost. I don't know if the word's prideful, but confident when you're handing your pre-listing pack to a prospective seller. When you have that thing done and you're handing it to the seller, when you know what to say and how to say it, when you have a listing presentation, even as a brand new agent, you're going to be unbelievably excited to, guess what? Jump in the deep end. How do I know? Julie and I, in our first year in real estate, broke all records and has not been broken since, and sold over 100 homes our first year in real estate. Now, granted, this was a while ago, but the truth is everything we did then, frankly, we didn't even know 1% of what we know now, but we still were able to do it. How did we do it? Following the overarching advice that we're giving you guys in this podcast. Remember, this podcast is just training. It's not coaching. It's a completely different experience. Make sure you join Premier Coaching.
Point number 4, you cannot be weird about being a salesperson.
That's huge.
About talking about real estate, about talking to people. Don't be a secret agent. It's not profitable. It is a contact business, both face-to-face, voice-to-voice, video to multiple viewers. You cannot hide out from your business. This is, yes, entire podcast on that.
Well, but here's where people get stuck on this. Agents get stuck on this. I don't want to seem like a pushy salesperson.
I know.
I don't want my friends and my family and my, whoever just think I'm just wanting to talk to them for a real estate deal. Well, neither do we. And that's the reason our scripts and our whole system is designed so that, frankly, you don't ever lead with real estate. And you won't have to lead with real estate, because once you've established yourself as a reliable source about information regarding real estate, they're going to bring the conversation up to you. And I don't care if you're at Orange Theory or if you're at Starbucks or if you're anywhere else. Once you have established yourself, and it's not hard to do, as being somebody that's reliable to ask about real estate, you will discover that everybody and their brother and their dog is always talking about real estate. This is especially true with more expensive properties. Everybody talks about real estate. People talk more about real estate now than they talk about football, it seems, in some markets.
Absolutely. I was checking out at the grocery store last week, and all everybody was talking about was real estate. And we're in Murphy, North Carolina.
Yeah.
Checkout kid wanted to get his license. The lady behind me was trying to sell her house. I mean, it's everywhere.
How did the conversation start? You didn't initiate it, I assume.
It started because they were looking at my Puerto Rico license and they were wondering how it was that we lived in Murphy and Puerto Rico at the same time.
Oh, your driver's
and
license?
then they're like,
Yeah.
what's your house like there? And then it led to real estate. It was an organic conversation about real estate. It is it was an outline. It was a conversational outline. It wasn't weird. It wasn't pushy. It wasn't anything.
Yeah, we spend 2 months typically in our cabin in Murphy, North Carolina. That's where we are now. You guys sometimes, on YouTube especially, why aren't you guys, the video I'm watching is obviously a loop. It doesn't sync up with your voices. Well, it's because Julie and I travel a lot. We travel a lot, frankly, to serve all of you guys. And we don't have a studio. We used to have a studio, but we don't have anymore. So you're just going to have to suffer through and enjoy this incredibly high quality audio content.
That's right. Our mobile
and
audio.
Don't let the lack of voice syncing drive you too crazy.
That's right. So point number 5, remember, we're making $1 million a year here, you guys. Have and follow a business plan. Failing to plan is planning to fail. Get your real estate treasure map today and get started immediately. Your treasure map is your personalized life and business plan. You're going to learn the following. There's more to it than this, but the points I wrote down were: first, your goals. Why are you even in real estate? What must real estate accomplish for you and your family? It makes you do goals in 5 areas of life, but these are your personal goals. Next, where are you going to get your business from? Understanding lead generation. There is an entire section on making sure you're clear, and then you sort out where your leads are going to come from. It explains what the magic number is. What is your magic number of active listings you have to have at all times to meet or exceed your monthly goals? It also includes your profit-driven, powerful, ideal schedule. How are you going to invest your time? I just had an elite coaching member sign up the other day, Tim, and this was the main thing that they wanted to concentrate on first. They wanted a profit-driven, powerful, ideal schedule because they felt like so many agents, what am I supposed to do today? I feel like I'm blowing in the wind. Maybe I have fires to put out. Maybe I don't. What do I do every day to be profitable?
Now you brought up something I'm going to have to explain. They don't know what elite coaching is. So elite coaching is where you coach with it's a one-on-one coaching experience. Frankly, most of the elite coaching clients are coaching directly with Julie. If you think you're ready for elite coaching, you can go to the website, timandjulieharris.com, and read about it. But if you just want to fast track it, text me directly. It's 512-758-0206, 512-758-0206. And text me some information about yourself and let me know that you're interested in elite coaching. Elite coaching is only really an appropriate fit for those of you who are in momentum, who frankly are, you're already successful and you're waiting to go to the next level. It's really not a great fit for new agents or people that are running a super tight budget. I'm just being honest with you guys. Mm-hmm. That's what Premier Coaching is for. Premier Coaching is a great, amazing starter coaching program, and then you can upgrade from there. But really, 99% of you are going to be great in Premier Coaching. But for the 1% that's ready to go to the next level and want to have Julie Harris as your private coach, she is always entertaining, taking on more clients. But you got to understand, you don't just sign up and you're in. It's an interview process. And I announced this probably 90, 120 days ago, and you and I had 30 or 40 people that responded. And I would say basically at the end of the day, between just probably 5 of them, I think were a good fit for you. Mm-hmm. Because
it's fine.
It's just not. So here's the thing: you're going to talk to Julie. You're going to, most of you will get that far when you're going to send me your information. You're going to end up scheduling with Julie. You're going to interview Julie. Julie's going to interview you. She's probably going to tell most of you to join one of the lesser expensive coaching programs. And that's going to shock most of you. And it's why? Because she wants you to, polish up on some of the more core level skills before you invest in working with someone at her level. That's just a fact.
Well, a lot of the things that we're talking about on today's podcast, building that foundation.
Right. And by the way, the real estate treasure map and the things Julie talked about in the previous point, that is available for you in the first level of Premier Coaching. So click the link below. Those of you who know that you're in the 1%, and you want to be considered to be coached by Julie, text me directly at 512-758-0206.
Okay, point number 6, define what makes you unique. Can you answer this question? What makes you different? Why should I hire you to represent me buying or selling, especially on the listing? Now, sellers ask for a reduced commission because they don't know any other way to sort agents out. Buyers ask for agent kickbacks for the same reason. it's your job to show your own value. You can start with the pre-listing package that we just spoke of, but see, this is the question that causes agents to be secret agents and not be confident talking about real estate, because they consciously or subconsciously live in fear of having that question. Gosh, why should I hire you? What makes you different? And I always put agents on the spot about that. And one of two things happens. They either, fire hose me with lots and lots of information.
They buckle with fear.
They buckle with fear, or they are completely crickets.
Well, that's the reason we created the pre-listing pack for you guys, not to, repeat that. But I'm so glad you asked, Mr. Seller. Here's my pre-listing package. It explains all the reasons that so many people choose to do business with me. And then just shut up, because the pre-listing pack does the work for you.
Speaks for you.
Right.
That's right.
Point number 7.
Point number 7, get into momentum and stay there. Remember, we talked about the stages of mastery. Momentum, get there and stay there. You have used the treasure map to understand lead generation, set specific financial goals, know your magic number, and create your daily schedule. This is where sometimes agents freeze up too. They have all those things in place after they've done the treasure map, but now you have to actually do the work that it's laid out for you. You have to actually follow your schedule and do the things that are in your schedule. Drill down and get to work. Focus. That stands for follow one course until successful. Follow that course. Don't start in dribs and drabs and keep on getting back to, getting ready to get started. You've got to do the work.
And remember, repetitious boredom pays off. And I'll tell you something else that I wish, frankly, we would have both, Julie and I would have known years ago. Everything in life worth having is going to take probably about 5x longer than you think. Mm-hmm. And everyone wants to believe that they're going to be an overnight success. There really aren't any. And it'll give me another little something that I wish I would have known a long time ago. Really, long-term increasing levels of success, it does come from doing what you don't want to do when you don't want to do it at the highest level. But probably in your entire life, if you have 1 or 2 home runs, you're incredibly lucky. Most times, if you get on base, I know I'm using a baseball analogy, but really at the end of the day, life is about just getting on first base. And that might be setting a listing appointment, taking a listing. You're going to take a listing and you're going to take more listings and you're going to have a good month and you're going to have a great year and you're going to buy some rental properties. No one's really going to celebrate. No one's going to, they're not going to put give you a trophy or a plaque. It's the slow, repetitious boredom that I promise you guys, that's what's going to get you to the promised land as far as being financially free. It's not going to be waiting for some sort of big home run. So those of you who think that life is about overnight success and all of a sudden just you went from rags to riches, those are all basically, they're stories that marketers use to try to, convince those of you who are shiny object types to chase that whatever they've got for sale. It's repetitious boredom pays off. It's doing what you don't want to do when you don't want to do it at the highest level. And just be okay being bored, because really successful businesses are boring. Do you think it's exciting to work at Amazon? I promise you it's
Probably not.
I mean, can you imagine what an exciting day at Amazon is like? It's got to be scary as hell. I mean, all the boxes and all the...
Where'd I put that?
Yeah, exactly. You don't want an exciting day at most businesses.
No, I'm going to try and figure out how to run this conveyor belt that delivers the stuff into the packages. I'm going to try that on my own. No,
yeah.
I guarantee you there's instructions. All right, point number 8, track everything using your visual accountability whiteboard system that we teach you in Premier Coaching. Excuse me. Know where your business is coming from, what your personal average sale price is, and if you're on track, ahead, or behind. Track everything. That is key to your success. When you learn how to use your visual accountability, that is literally in front of you on your whiteboards, and again, refer to previous podcasts about this, then it's going to tell you, maybe you've got a ton of pendings. I know some of you listening, especially this time of year, you've got tons of pendings, but what does that mean is happening on your listing board? It's probably blank because now you're listless. You sold everything. Go you. That's fantastic. But if you've got a blank listing board, that tells you where your work needs to be. Some of you have made it through closing all of those deals, and your closed board, your whiteboard, is full of closings, but now you're running out of pendings. So that tells you what to do. So track everything. And we're going to do one last point, and then we're going to wrap. That's number 9. Be relentless with lead generation, furiously fast lead follow-up, pre-qualifying, presenting, negotiating, and closing.
Let me edit this a little bit. I'm agreeing 100%, but I just want to really drill down. I had a coaching call yesterday with Adam about this. Mm-hmm. If you only get good at 3 things in your life, in your real estate business, this is it. These are the 3 things. Proactive, you're missing the word proactive.
Yep.
Proactive lead generation. So those of you who are following along in the notes, point number 9, and the notes are always, when you scroll down, if you're on iTunes or Stitcher, Spotify, or wherever, and even on YouTube, scroll down. So there's an edit to point number 9. It's proactive lead generation. So the 3 things, if you get good at these 3 things, these are the things that matter the most. Proactive lead generation, pre-qualifying, and presenting. Now, if you get really good at proactive lead generation and you get really good at pre-qualifying and then setting an appointment and presenting, even if you're shifty about the rest of it, you're going to be right as rain. And that means that you can completely avoid ever doing a lot of the things that so many agents spend so much time doing. I'm going to say it again. Get really, really good at proactive lead generation. Become somebody who just naturally is frankly following our system, and you're generating leads because you know everywhere around you at all times are people that need to buy or sell real estate. That is always true, right? Then you get really good at pre-qualifying. If once you pre-qualified a seller and you know all the questions that are you will get answered through pre-qualifying using our script, you will get the listing because you're going to know what they think the house is worth. You're going to know if they're interviewing anybody else. You're going to know what their time frame is. You're going to know what their true motivation is. You send the pre-listing pack and follow our system. You're going to take the listing. Right? All the questions that you live in fear of having to deal with when you get to the seller's house, they're already answered prior to getting there. Are you starting to put the pieces together of what we've created for all of you? It's a very simple system. Now, yes, furiously fast lead follow-up matters, but it doesn't matter as much as pre-qualifying and setting the appointment. Because if you pre-qualify and set the appointment when you're proactively lead generating, there isn't anything to follow up with because you've already actually got the lead.
That's right. And here's the thing, guys. The rest of it doesn't matter if you're leadless.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that all stems back to being very proactive about your lead generation. And that goes back to using scripts and being comfortable and not being a secret agent and creating enough leads that you have somebody to pre-qualify and then close, of course.
It's incredibly important, all of you team leaders and brokers, that you're very clear, individual agents as well, you're very clear on what I'm about to say. You want to get to focusing primarily all your best interests on being energies on being a listing agent. That is where the real leverage in real estate is, on a listing agent. So many of you are constantly trying to decide who you're going to buy buyer leads from, what buyer leads are quality, that's the other thing. Look, buying buyer leads has a place in your business depending on where you are in the success spectrum of real estate. But at the end of the day, all of you need to be moving all of your focus on becoming a listing agent. And I'm going to give you a little secret. Right now is certainly the best time to become a listing agent in the last 15 years because so many agents, anybody that's only been licensed for 15 years or less, guess what? They have the same level of experience as you do, which is a hot seller's market with super low interest rates. The number of agents that know how to proactively lead generate, let alone pre-qualify and present in a market like this it's measured you can count it on one hand in your market. There won't be hardly anybody that you'll ever compete against that's going to have a really good skill set that's needed for this market. You have an advantage as long as you move on this and don't just wait around trying to make today work like it did yesterday. So listen, Julie and I need to wrap it up because we actually have to be on a Zoom here in about 2 minutes. In the meantime, guys, thank you for making this the #1 listened to daily podcast for real estate professionals in at least the United States. It is our pleasure and our honor to be your online real estate coaches. Now take the next natural step and join Premier Coaching. The links are below. Have a fantastic day. We'll talk with you on the show tomorrow.
Hello, thank you for having watched this video. Please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
That's right. And don't forget to hit that like button, leave your comments and questions below, and we will get right back with you.
Thank you for watching this video. And remember to watch the next one. You're going to love that one.